I truly believe my purpose is to secure cyberspace, but I can't do that alone. I need great, amazing people like you that are joining forces, that want to have that same mission of securing cyberspace, that want to be better, that want to be world class, that want to learn. And I just want to thank you. Welcome to Life of a CISO. I'm Dr. Eric Cole, your host, and we'll be taking you on a journey each week on what it takes to be a CISO and what are solutions that you can implement today if you are currently a Chief Information Security Officer or if you want to be one in the future. This is Life of a CISO. Welcome, my friends. You know what time it is. It's time. Here we go. Drum roll, right? It's time for Life of a CISO. I hope you are pumped and ready to go. I just want to start by just acknowledging the day that this podcast is going to get released. It's going to get released on Thanksgiving Day. Now, I know some of you are go-getters and might listen to it. Some of you might listen to it a few days later. But I just want to take a moment to acknowledge, first, I am so thankful for you. I couldn't do what I do if it wasn't for you listening. Right? Yes, I guess I could record videos that nobody watches, right? That nobody listens to and nobody gets any impact or value out of. But that is not why I do this. I do this because I want to give back. I care about you, and I truly want to change the world one person at a time. I truly believe my purpose is to secure cyberspace, but I can't do that alone. I need great, amazing people like you that are joining forces, that want to have that same mission of securing cyberspace, that want to be better, that want to be world class, that want to learn. And I just want to thank you. Whether you're one of those folks that just passively listen and apply what you're learning, thank you. Or if you're one of those folks that post a comment of how this has positively impacted your life and how much this has changed, those extra thank you. Because believe it or not, there are days where I sort of doubt myself. There's days, believe it or not, where I ask my team, is anyone really listening? Are we making an impact? There have been days where I've gone in and said, hey, I'm not sure if we should even continue the podcast. And then my team goes in and goes, check the posts, check the messages, and they just start going in and sending message after message of just nothing but appreciation from all of you. So once again, not to overdo it, but I can't thank you enough. And when I go in on this Thanksgiving, and I do spend a lot of time sort of journaling on what I'm thankful for, all of you are definitely at the top of the list. So thank you for listening. Thank you for being a part of this group, and thank you for wanting to change the world with me. On that note, though, I do want to emphasize the importance of appreciation in being a world-class CISO. I know we often talk about, and I will get into some specific cybersecurity and chief information officer tips and tricks on this podcast, like I always do. I'm going to go over sort of the executive briefing and how to really narrow that down and dial it in, and something you should always have in your back pocket. But before we do that, I want to emphasize that really the importance of life, a life fulfilled, is one that is thankful and gives back. So when I sort of look at Thanksgiving and appreciation, I sort of focus in on the two G's: gratitude and giving. And it'll be something on a regular basis. I sort of look at, okay, am I grateful and letting those around me know that I'm grateful? And do I give back? Do I give back even in small ways to help others make the world a better place? So I just want you to spend a little time on, are there areas in your business, your life in cybersecurity, or even outside cybersecurity, where you could potentially let others know that you're thankful or grateful to them? And how can you ultimately give back? And you know I'm all about systems and processes and grading. So when I go in and I look at appreciation and I break that down into gratitude and giving, to me, there's really 5 areas where I focus my energy and effort. The first is myself. And I know at first we live in a world where people go, so you're grateful for who you are and you give back to yourself? Absolutely. That should be your top priority. Because guess what? If you are not grateful, if you are down and depressed and your body's falling apart because you haven't given back in exercise or nutrition or vitamins or mental health, how can you perform at an optimal level? How can you be there for anyone else if you're not there for yourself? So I know I just want to change that perception. It is not selfish at all to focus in on you, be thankful for you, and give back to yourself. It's actually selfish not to. I would argue the people that are like, no, I'm not going to take care of myself. And sleep's not a priority. I'll sleep when I'm dead. And who cares about exercise? I don't need to look fit and all that stuff. That in some aspects, they're being more selfish because guess what? They're not going to be able to operate at an optimal level. And unfortunately, it's something we don't like to talk about. But if you're not mentally sound and healthy, you're not going to be around for as long as the world needs you, for as long as the family needs you. Hey, for as long as I need you, I need listeners, right? We need to stick together. I want to be doing this when I'm 90, and I want you listening when you're 90. So I'll be a little selfish. I want you around too. So take care of yourself, right? Make yourself a priority. And in a lot of cases, it's just simple being grateful for who we are. Because I'll tell you, cybersecurity people that transform into chief information security officers are probably the hardest and most critical on themselves. It is a group of people, and me included, that are always thinking we can do better. We always think that there's more we could have done. There's more issues. Because guess what? I don't know about you, but if I'm working with a company and things go wrong and there's breaches or incidents, I know I've done everything I can, but a part of me is like, could I have done more to help prevent that? Could I have raised the awareness even more? And I know just because I talk to other folks and I can testify, my self-talk at times, if I am not aware and channel gratitude and giving, I wouldn't tolerate against my worst enemy. There's things that I say about myself. Come on, Eric. You're really not that good. You're a poser. People don't really value your content. You're really, this, and this, or listen to some of the haters out there. That I'll tell you, if anyone came up to any one of my family members or friends and started talking that trash, I would get in their face. I would be like, not cool, man. We're not, they are awesome people. You are awesome people. We are not going there. You are not going to say those negative things to them because words have lots of power. And the thing we have to remember is this phrase we learned in school is the biggest bunch of garbage on the planet. This idea that sticks and stones will break your bones, but words will never hurt you. That person must have been on drugs or completely out of society and never interacted with people. Because I will tell you, wounds heal, bones heal, words hurt for a lifetime. There's still words that people spoke about me and you that you don't realize it, that have caused you to have limiting beliefs, that have caused you not to believe in yourself. I will tell you, powerful negative words from someone you care who cares about you, yourself, can be very, very damaging and can live a lifetime. So this idea that, words are just words and words don't hurt you. And that's what I used to be told when I was bullied and people were saying, things about me. That used to be the old modern school. Oh, Eric, just stop complaining. Right? I was the one that was wrong because I didn't want to be treated like garbage when I was in the classroom and feel like garbage when I was in school. Now, the reality is you couldn't control that then. You can control that now. But don't let those bullies get in your head and become your own worst bully. So that first area, that's probably going to be the hardest and the most work, because if you can go in and every day you can look in the mirror and you can say, thank you for me. I'm so blessed to be me. I am so unique and awesome. I can do things in a way that no one else can do. I have a way, I say this to myself, Eric, you have a way of explaining things and connecting with people that very few technical people can do. You have a heart of gold that you truly care about other people. And just that, puts me in a good mood. I'm starting the day regardless of what I'm facing, regardless of what I'm going through. Right? I'm going and I'm in a really good mood. And then I make sure I give back to myself. Sleep is super important. I'm very big on health. I have a whole regimen. I have actually multiple teams of nutritionists and specialists with vitamins and peptides. And I'm a big fan of IV. I just the other day, just heading into the holiday season, because I know there's a lot of people that are sick and stuff. I want to take care of myself and give back. So I actually went in and do Ozone, which people walk by and they think you're nuts. With Ozone, they basically take blood from you, a pretty good amount. Like you have to sit down and they're giving you like some nutrition and stuff to make sure you're okay. They actually oxygenate it with ozone. They actually inject ozone into the bag with your blood. They then run it through a machine. I'm not kidding. People like, you're making, I'm like, I am dead serious. You could look it up. They then run it through a machine that is infrared and basically sterilizes the blood. So anything bad that's in it, and then they put it back into you. And you do that. And then just because that's an impact on your system, I then go through 2 bags of fluid that have vitamins and peptides and others in it, basically just to regenerate my body. And then usually a week later, I'll go in and do NAD, which is also another way for cell regeneration. Now, that takes time. That's expensive. These treatments aren't cheap, but I put myself first. I go in and I give back to myself. Now, you don't have to do any of that stuff. I'm just sort of giving you a perspective. And I spent a lot of time on sort of the first of 5 areas, which is you, because it's the one that's overlooked. The second one that are most people priority, yet they sometimes forget and still say things that are pretty negative, which is family and friends. So sort of family and friends is the next one. I'm a big fan of at least every day, say something positive, gratitude to your family members and your friends. And then what can you do to give back to them? It can be something simple as, hey, how can I help you? It can be something as simple as just giving them a call and say, hey, I was thinking about you. Right? It doesn't have to be big things. A little amount of time is often the best gift that anybody wants. Most of your kids, most of your family members just want to hear your voice, just want to spend time with you. They don't need any big gifts or anything else. So the gift of time is sometimes that best gift. Then the third area is business. And this is one especially in cybersecurity, this time with everything going on. And if you're a CISO or becoming a CISO, that is very hard. Because I know a lot of folks, I coach a lot of people, I talk to a lot of folks. If I can help you and coach you going to next year, if this year has been sort of a rough year and you feel a little stagnant and you want to go to the next level, let's jump on a phone call, see if I can help you. Because trust me, the small investment in coaching pays off tremendously. Most of the people that hire me for coaching get 10, 20, 30x returns on what they've actually spent versus the amount of impact, financial, and title that they get back in return. So if that's of interest to you, ecole@secure-anchor.com. Let 2026 be the year you invested in yourself and hired a top-notch coach to guide you and direct you in your life and your career. But a lot of folks are frustrated with their boss. They're frustrated with their CEO or their COO or their CFO or their team or other folks. And one of the first assignments I give is, okay, let's create a list of the people that frustrate you the most in your job. The people that just really sort of, oh, I mean, you just sort of cringe and you just have a little frustration with. Let's write them down. And then my assignment is at least once a week, you should go in and ideally in person, but if that's not possible, a phone call is best. If that's not possible, then a text or an email. But just say, hey, I just want you to know I appreciate you. A message to your CEO, go, listen, I know sometimes we don't always agree, but we always are aligned with what's best for the business. And I just want to say thank you. And I appreciate everything you've done for me and the company. Now, family do daily because they need it. With work, if you've never done it before and you jump right to daily, they're going to think you're nuts. Like if every day you send your CEO a thank you message, they're going to like start wondering what's wrong with you. So with that one, I just say one person a day. So in your company, just one person. So your CEO today, your COO tomorrow, your CFO the next day. And here's the cool part. You have the best excuse, the time of year. I mean, even though Thanksgiving is relatively a U.S. holiday, people around the world know Thanksgiving. And what I love about Thanksgiving, it's one of the few holidays that's really a people holiday. It's about being thankful for other people and other humans, right? So everybody can sort of participate in this holiday, which I love. So it's a perfect time to do that. The fourth one, which is one that we definitely all need to work on, is thankful for your country. To me, the United States right now is in a chaos. We're in a crisis like we've never seen before. There is so much anger, so much hatred, where it's just crazy. Where, I mean, I just see people like getting into arguments and fights just in stores. And I mean, it's at a level I've never seen before. And especially with what just happened with the government shutdown, the longest shutdown, I think it's in the history of the United States, or pretty darn close. And people weren't getting paid. I hear you. I have friends and family members that work for the government and they weren't getting paid. And we were having conversations about, okay, how much do you need? And do I need to sort of give you a loan or send you some money to help them out? Because, I mean, that's, you're working for the government, you're serving your country, and you're not getting paid. I mean, talk about me now coming in and saying, you now need to be thankful. I can understand where you might like, seriously, dude, but trust me, I went through it and lived it with many loved ones. So maybe we don't go in and send our Congress people thank you notes yet. That would be an amazing achievement, right? Going, I know you worked as hard as you could, and I just wanted to thank you. Now that's a level that I don't know if I'm there yet, right? But the point is, I'm just telling you, that's optimal living, where when somebody does something harmful to you or your family, you're the better person, you're the bigger person, and you can overlook and say, thank you. I want to believe that you've tried to do your best, that you weren't trying to harm me or the country, but you had lots of challenges and issues, and you were trying to do what was best in the long run without causing more harm or more issues. So that's sort of the ultimate level. But just any person, what I do, and this is just mine, is I live in DC, so it's a little more accessible. But whenever I go in and I see anyone in the military or any law enforcement or firefighters, I just go in and say, thank you. Thank you for your service. And it just changes them. We're in a day and age where churches are targets, and our church actually has police officers. We actually have a police officer outside, and then we have one who's inside just to sort of manage. And I went up to them today when it's a Sunday, and I went to church, and I went up to them and just said, totally sincere, put out my hand and said, I just want to thank you. I said, here I'm with my family attending church, and you're away from your family on a Sunday protecting us. I just want to thank you for your service and for what you do. And they just sort of looked at me, smiled, and said, we appreciate that. I haven't heard that in a while, and that means a lot to me. Words matter. you could change somebody's life. I don't like to think too much, but I like to think, and once again, I didn't do it for this reason. I did it because I honestly believed it. But I like to believe that I made a small difference in that officer's life just by letting him know that he is offering a huge service, and I truly appreciate it. Little things like that can make a huge difference. And then, of course, the fifth one is the world. Just being thankful for other countries, other world leaders. I have a lot of friends in other countries, so I'll often send them, hey, appreciate your point of view, or appreciate this or that. And once again, that one is a little hard to remember. These are sort of what we call levels of maturity. So I don't always do the fifth one. Right? I tend to go in and focus. You focus on one first. The reality is, think of these like inner circles, outer circles. Right? If the personal appreciation and gratitude isn't handled, then you really can't show it to your family. You can't give what you don't have. You're a mirror. So if you're angry and mad at yourself, you can try to go to your family or coworkers and say, thank you, I appreciate you. But it's probably going to come across as not genuine and actually potentially do more harm than good. So think of these as inner circles. Master the appreciation, the gratitude and giving to yourself, then your family, then your business, then the country, and then the world. But really right now, I'd say start with those first three. And my thing to you is, what if we make a challenge? You know, I love challenges. You know, I love giving homework to you. So we'll go in and just give you a little homework assignment. What if at least 3 times a day, you are grateful for who you are? It's as simple as going to a mirror and just saying, hey, I appreciate you, Eric. I'm thankful for who you are. And you can even, say, I'm thankful to my creator for creating me. But it's really appreciating you, right? Appreciating you for who you are. And then once a day, just a small journaling. It could be 5 minutes, just writing down sort of, why you're so blessed and all the things you have. Because the reality is this: you basically create the life based on what you focus on. And unfortunately, a lot of us in cybersecurity tend to focus on what is wrong, what is not working, and what we need to improve. And that works to a point. But one of our big things in life of a CISO and being a world-class chief information security officer is needing to go in and have balance. Are we in proper balance? Are we in proper balance with improving and critiquing and changing, but also appreciating and loving who we are, our family, and our business? Because to me, it's a real simple rule that I use. I look at it that I'm standing on a road, and I ask myself, how do I feel? If I feel really good, Eric, you are great. You're doing an awesome job. You are focused. You are aligned. You are crushing it today. I look forward and say, okay, great. What are changes I need to make? Where are improvements I need to do? What are things I need to do differently today to make today even better than yesterday and be world class? Then, if I'm sitting there and I'm just really down, just really frustrated, like, Eric, seriously, what's going on, dude? Like, you are just not operating at the level you need to operate at. This is just not good. And you're just getting really down on yourself. I then look the other way and I look at how far I've come. I look back to the road I've traveled going, wow, you've come a long way. You might not think it, but if you go in and look at where you were even a year ago or 5 years ago or 10 years, just go far back as you need to get that gratitude, you've come a long way. You've made a lot of improvements. Nothing's perfect. Then there's a third one that people miss. The third one is this: if I'm sort of just balanced, I'm not really like, Eric, you're doing amazing, and I'm not really like, Eric, you're screwing up, and you're like, Eric, you're solid. That's when I just get present and I just execute on what I need to execute. I use Monday as my program management tool. You should all have a program management tool. You should all, I use Notes for my second brain. And you should all always have things that you currently can do. Right? They're not changes. They're not, the first one, but they're just things that need to be executed on or taken care of. And then I go in and I execute on that list. So now basically the 3 different states that I'm potentially in are going to determine which of those that I elevate at. But you want to go in and 3 times a day for you, 1 time a day for each family member, and then 1 gratitude per business. So you rotate the folks. So your CEO one day, COO one day, CFO one day. Your kids should be every day. Your spouse should be every day. But the CEO, COO should maybe be twice a month. Because once again, this is so out of the cultural norm that if you do it too much, it's going to look weird or strange or not acceptable. So hopefully you've got a lot of value. I did not plan on doing a whole episode on this. I have a plan. I actually thought this was going to be 5 minutes and I was going to get into executive briefing, but we're at 25 minutes and I don't want to rush the executive briefing. So to me, I'm just sort of being told, Eric, you delivered the message you need. People got value out of it. People have actionable things they can do. And I just want you to focus on this and not distract it with anything else. So we're going to sort of wrap up that please make yourself, your family, your business top priority with appreciation through gratitude and giving. And then when you've mastered that, you can add in the 4th and 5th of your country and the world. But hopefully you have actionable things. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Life of a CISO. Have an amazing Thanksgiving. Have an amazing couple of days with your friends and family. And I look forward to sharing the executive briefing playbook with you on the next episode.